What's going on, traders? John with Tactical Trading here with our watch list for the second week of October 2020. We had probably one of our best months in September. First week of October was terrific, and what our goal is to keep this going. A lot of the stocks that we're going to be watching this week, we're going to have to watch the same stocks. We're going to have to watch low float, cheap oil and gas plays, alternative energy plays. These are the same stocks that we're going to have to continue to watch. Anything that has to do with alternative energy, electric vehicles, or anything in that nature is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on this week. The stocks that I'm looking at in particular, they're all stocks that I've called out before, all these stocks that have been mentioned before, but they have to be watched closely in particular this week. Not only are we watching CEI, Camber Energy, they have a merger coming up. We want to keep an eye on them. OEG, and any other type of PPSI, any of these oil and gas plays, LONE, just anything that has to do with even ENSV, all these lower priced oil and gas plays. It seems like every day last week, traders picked one of these and they took off. It seemed like they were hopping from from trade to trade, and whichever one caught steam, the snowball rolled. But in particular, what I'm looking at first and foremost is VVPR. This stock closed on Friday at $16.28. Went down in the after hours down to about $14.50. But during the day on Friday, shot all the way up to $24.33. After they took a 51% in Teambo Motors. This is a 4x4 electric vehicle company in Australia. These guys have projects in the United States and Australia. I know I've been talking about these guys for quite some time. Back to when they were at $2.50, we were talking about Vivo Power. But I still do. This is probably one of my favorite stocks in the entire stock market. And I do think this stock has had its pullback. I do think with the high amount of shares that were traded on Friday, a lot of eyes and interest will be on this stock, and any momentum will keep VVPR, Vivo Power, running. So you want to keep a close eye on Vivo Power. The next stock we're going to be watching is Sola, SOL. This stock had a very strong day on Friday. Went all the way up to $4.15 where it settled at. Looks like it pulled back. I believe it went up to in the 430s and then pulled back to settle at $4.15. I'm looking for this thing to pull back slightly to hit that retracement area of about $3.90. This is going to be a heavy support area. If we see this thing get down to $3.90 and start bouncing back up, this could cause a really hard trigger for this thing to run. So I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on SOL. And as a sympathy play, I'm going to be watching one we've been watching for the past 3-4 weeks now, and that's Sunworks, SUNW. This stock closed at $3.52. Didn't have much action in the after hours. So this is one that I think if SOL has a nice push and starts to run, Sunworks may follow suit. And it's Sunworks is a lower float play than SOL. So if this thing gains momentum, this thing can really start running. So I really like Sunworks as well too. And if with the oil and gas, the alternative energy and oil and gas plays, one more that I'm watching is OPTT. This is Ocean Power Technology. This thing closed at $2.55 on Friday, was up about 10 cents in the after hours, and had huge support at $2.65. This thing could not break below $2.65 in the after hours. I think this thing found its momentum on a way up after it had a very rough day on Wednesday and Thursday. In fact, Thursday, this thing just sunk just the majority of the day to close about $1.95. This thing gained some heavy momentum, ran up about 65. This thing ran all the way up to the 280s to pull back and settle right around 255 at the close, and then was up about 10 cents in the after hours. I really anticipate OPTT, another low float alternative energy play, to get moving, especially if we get any PR in any of these stocks. Now, mind you, most of these are running without PR except for VVPR. This thing had, like I said, the 51% stake in Teambo Motors. This really got this one going, and I really think that one's going to continue. So the first 4 stocks, and these are all 4 listed plays: VVPR, Vivo Power, SOL, Sola, SUNW, Sunworks, and OPTT, Ocean Power Technologies. Now, one OTC stock we're going to be watching this week very closely. This is a stock that had news a couple weeks back. They had, and this is DSG Global, another stock I've been preaching about for the past few weeks. This thing had released the prototype for its SUV and also for its pickup truck. Now, what I'd like to let you know, these guys are not manufacturing these electric vehicles. This is an electric vehicle play, but they have an exclusive agreement with Johnway Group, a Chinese manufacturer, to sell these EVs in the United States, Mexico, Canada, and the Caribbean. And also they made a exclusive agreement with Skywell Automotive as well, too, another Chinese group. This will allow these guys to sell these, DSGT, and their subsidiary Imperium Motors, to sell these vehicles exclusively in the United States. Finally, on Friday, this thing caught some steam. Now, on Tuesday, it caught a little steam, ran up to about 15.5 cents, pulled back a little bit, and then kind of traded flat for the rest of the week. And then on Friday, this thing took off. This thing ran up almost 8 cents on Friday, hit a high of 21 cents to settle at 20 or 0.02 or 0.207, excuse me, 20, just a shade under 21 cents, so 0.207. I expect this thing to open strong. I expect this thing to run. I can see possibly 30 cents by the end of the week in this one. Like I said, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I see in these markets, and I think DSGT is one that really, finally caught its steam. It traded a lot of volume on Friday, and if the volume continues, the price surge will continue. They also had a press release a couple weeks back, which got everything started, which said they paid off all their notes, which means there will be no dilution by the company, no shares being dumped onto the market by the company. So this means this will be all organic, all traders, and the company will not be dumping shares on top of it to suppress the price. So again, DSGT is definitely the one OTC stock that I'm watching closely this week, and then the other four again are VVPR, SOL, SUNW, and OPTT. Again, always I'm looking at all these oil and gas plays, all these small under dollar, between $1.50 and 75-cent oil and gas plays. Some of them even cheaper. Just keeping my eye on them, and because like I said, traders were picking these during the week, and one would take off and then come back, the other one would take off and come back. So I definitely be keeping my eye on these cheaper oil and gas stocks, and definitely all the whole or alternative energy and EV sector. So that's all I got for you today. Let's make this a great week, folks. As always, please like, please share, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below. I will come out with a update video tomorrow, and as always, let's get that money, traders.